Extremely important for this regime to now be informed that the youths are in the majority in this country and the youths are resolved. We are resolved with the fact that we are removing this regime from power come next year. The truth of the matter is we have given our marching orders to all the youths in this country. And remember, Tonse Alliance is an alliance for everyone. Tonse means together. It means everybody. You may be aware today now, Mr. President, that in Tonse we equally have your members, be it members of parliament from the UPND, be it members from any other opposition, and be it members from your structures. We are Tonse. We are working together. You must be aware that we are resolved as the youths today and in the days to come, that what we shall be operating on is what we are now terming don't waiver reloaded from us. And you must know, we shall eat that money you will give us. We shall ensure that all those contracts that you will give us, we shall execute them, make the money, and still ensure that we vote you out. Failure is what we have seen. We have seen the failures of this government. We have seen the high levels of corruption. Who is not seeing it? Only a blind man will not see it. But we are not blind Bartimaeus. But we will tell you today that the failure we have witnessed, the hunger that we are feeling, is something that we know. You are in State House today, feeding on taxpayers' money, and you cannot feel the hunger. The people around you, sir, are feeding on taxpayers' money. They cannot feel the hunger. Come down to the ground. We are feeling the hunger. We know each and every youth in this country knows how tough things are today. The cost of minimum is at the highest ever. The cost of fuel is at the highest ever. The amount of corruption is at the highest ever. The amount of illicit transactions in this country is at the highest ever. The amount of theft of medicines, unprecedented. Mr. President, you must know. The time is up. I think if I were you today, the wisest thing I would do is to resign on moral grounds. A resignation and coming to the Zambian people and apologizing for failing to live up to the standards that you promised, Mr. President. Mr. President, today you must know that we, the youths, have got record of everything that you were saying whilst you were in opposition. And because you have introduced a Cybersecurity Act, which is entirely meant to gather our voices and ensure that we do not speak and speak to truth, we shall ensure that we shall speak through you, sir. We shall reproduce all the messages you were telling to the Zambian people. Yeah. We shall ensure that, Mr. President, through you, we shall tell the Zambian people that you raised a small bottle of Pamela, is it plastic of Pamela, and told the Zambian people that it has become too expensive because of failure of the leadership of the then Patriotic Front. And Mr. President, we shall ensure that we reproduce each and every video that you made in this country. We shall reproduce it so that we speak through you, sir. Because you are the only model of communication that we are left with. The Zambian people know that the only model of communication we are left with is you, Mr. President. We have many Damson Lungus that are making those TikToks and those clips. We are looking at them. In fact, now you must know that we have got over 50 youths that we are going to put on salary to just ensure that they are on your page, sir. To pick everything you've been telling the Zambian people in the past and speak to it, because it is speaking the reality of today. Unlike the propaganda that was used then. Mr. President, it is time. It is time that you know that the youths are resolved, it is time that you know that I think a time has come that we shall ensure to protect and defend the Constitution of the Republic. We have said it on many platforms that even with our lives, we shall protect and defend the Constitution. Zambia is a democratic country. We remain a constitutional democracy because we gave ourselves the Constitution. The scheme by the government today to decide to come up with provisions which are intended solely to benefit the government. How do you then have a constitutional making process or amendment process which is driven by government and not the Zambian people? That is so unfair of us. We gave ourselves the Constitution. A clique of individuals in your cabinet or yourselves, Mr. President, did not give us this Constitution. This Constitution was given to us by the Zambian people. That is the reason why the preamble of the Constitution says, we the people. It does not say, we the cabinet of the current regime. Or I, President Hakainde. No. We have told you on several platforms, Mr. President, that if you feel that there is any lacuna in this Constitution, or at any constitutional provision that has to be amended, Mr. President, let us test the provisions of the Constitution. We've got the Constitutional Court, which is the creature of this Constitution, which is mandated to interpret these provisions. And I think it's extremely important that the Zambian people must be reminded that this regime was voted in on the premise of a constitution which we are using. And it was a democratic process. And we shall not be guarded. We shall not sit and let the use of lawfare to guard the leadership of this country. I think it's important for us to be reminded once again that as the youths we are resolved and our marching orders have been given, that we shall speak through you, sir. Mr. President, we are now addressing you and reminding you that we shall speak through you. We've got those TikToks. We will continue playing them until you continue ensuring that these platforms that you told us that were being guarded or stopped to be used, because social media is a medium of communication. You need to know that I think Mwasanga tulete, Mr. President. Mwasanga tulete, and we shall not stop. Yeah. Thank you very much. And I wish to remind each and every youth out there to go out and register to vote. The power that we have today is in the vote. Do not be frustrated by these agents of doom, so-called the current regime. Let's go out there and vote. Let's go and obtain those voters, national registration cards. Let's ensure that what we have agreed on as the marching orders to do Donch Kubeba proceeds, and we shall do as such. And in fact, I am reminding you again, my youths, that the money that they are bringing is our money. It is taxpayers' money. These colleagues have become so wealthy now that they can go in Livingstone and start throwing 10 kwachas. And they have continued to mock the poor people. A death was occurred in Livingstone because they started throwing money. They've become too wealthy with their corruption. We are watching and we know that they are corrupt and we know they are thieves. The American ambassador has told us that they are thieves. We are dealing with thieves. So these thieves that have become too rich because they are selling our medicine, the medicine that is donated to us by the American government and many other cooperating partners, when they bring that money, we shall get it because it is our money. But we know what we will do. What we shall do is to vote them out, and they will be disappointed because even the votes, the voters that they are registering in their supposed stronghold, they must know that we've given marching orders. Those are our votes. You will receive a rude shock of your life. If you've never seen a serious landslide victory in your lives, that is what you shall experience.